Well, first of all, it's really a pleasure in welcoming you this time officially and starting this year edition of the international courses of our Nicolae Titulescu program. It's all the time important, and it's really a pleasure meeting especially young diplomats coming from different parts of the world. And you will see, I'm sure that it will be the same like it happened also in the past, succeeding to form a network of good connections between diplomats coming from different countries, different cultures, and also friendly relations. Thank you, Mirela, for introducing myself. I would like, and what I want to propose you at this first meeting is not exactly a classical first very structured discussion, but I want to launch you some ideas, some small challenges, and I want to provoke you for a second round for Q&A, for questions or comments that you might be interested to address to myself, and of course for the appropriate answers. First, just one word on what is happening and what is this Nicolae Titulescu international courses organized by the Romanian Foreign Affairs Ministry. It started in 1991. Organized by the foreign minister of Romania at that time, Mr. Năstase, immediately after the changes, the political, ideological changes in the Central Southeast Europe. After the falling down of the communists, the disappearance of Soviet Union, and based on the free will and sovereign will of those European countries from Central Southeast Europe to join the European and Euro-Atlantic family. So also for Romanians coming and rediscovering what is freedom, what is the liberty, what is the society based on democratic rules, for us it was an important thing to open the windows, to open the doors, and to have the connections, including through this direct contact with the young diplomats coming from different countries. Titulescu, for us, it's something special. You participated to the Te Deum, the religious ceremony close to the church in Brașov. Titulescu, it's a symbol. It's a Romanian, but also a European symbol. It was not only 3 times foreign minister of Romania between the 2 world wars. He was, and this is something special, 2 times president of the League of the Nations, to what today is the United Nations. He was in a period when, as a president of the League of the Nations, he was obliged to manage important crisis situations in Europe. The Abyssinia, the Italian crisis at the time, the raising of the fascism in Europe. It was exactly that period. And he marked the history of the diplomacy in Europe at that time for different reasons. He was the author of proposing different alliances in our region, Central Southeast Europe, smaller alliances that were supposed to give confidence and security to different nations in our region. In the end, it didn't work in the end because, once again, about the fascists and Nazist Germany that started the war. But he also was a great supporter of the European spirit of political dialogue and peace. And he was also a professor of law. He was professor in my faculty at that time. One of the amphitheatrum in the law faculty of the Bucharest University has his name. He was professor of civil law, but he was one of the best in international law. He was the father, he gave the first legal definition in the world, within the international law, of the aggression. In 1933, in London, the London Convention for the definition of the aggression, he gave the definition of the aggression for the first time in international law. What is interesting, he was co-sponsored, co-supported to offer this definition that was embodied, included in the treaty of London by Litvinov. Litvinov was the Soviet commissioner, so the foreign minister of Soviet Union at the time. And the big powers agreed and included in the London Convention this definition. 80 years ago, for your information, that definition, the substance of that definition, was used in the Foreign Affairs Council of the European Union when we have discussed it, the foreign ministers of EU, the aggression of Russia against Ukraine. And when we have condemned the illegal annexation of Crimea, it was based on this definition of the aggression. Life and history are interesting sometimes, or very often. So, coming back to our today's meeting, just a few words. We have proposed to discuss during this week, especially the developments, the evolutions within Europe, but also in the neighborhood of the European Union, both in the south, in the eastern neighborhood, the Black Sea region, Ukraine, the Republic of Moldova, Georgia, Russia, but also what is happening so dramatically in the southern neighborhood of the European Union. That means in Middle East or in the enlarged Middle East. And one of the most delicate, most dramatic topics is the rising of the so-called Islamic State against the civilized world, against all of us. And what is happening there in Iraq and in Syria with these barbaric crimes, which are crimes against humanity. And this is why, as you saw also in New York a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, within the General Assembly of the United Nations, the Security Council adopted unanimously a resolution that was supported by a large number of states, including the Arab states from the Gulf Council, from the GCC, including by the Arab League, of course by the European Union, by NATO, in combating the terrorism. And this is one of the big challenges that we are facing right now. So you will have the opportunity to discuss in different panels those subjects, and I encourage you to be proactive, to launch themes, subjects, ideas, to be very interactive, to put questions, and of course to receive answers. Because in the end, what is our main interest is to have an international society based on clear fundamental principles and rules that are, first of all, in the UN Charter and also in different other international treaties. The legal foundation of this international society, the international law, must prevail. And this is why we are, all the time, it's our political position all the time, to assure the respect of the fundamental principles and values of the international law. This is why the discussion, when making the reference to what is happening related to Ukraine, is the need for the respect of the territorial integrity, the sovereignty, and the inviolability of the borders of any state. This is the foundation. If someone wants to change the foundation of the international law, of our international society, this is a challenge for all of us. Please think to an international society which is functioning by violating those rules. All those years and decades that we have built the international society after the Second World War based on the UN Charter now is subject to challenges. So it's a serious job, it's a serious discussion, and this is not being in favor or against one nation, one country, one leader. It's a battle in favor of our stability, peace, political dialogue, the prevailing of the international law, and not conflicts, not violating some other borders, not illegally annexating its territory. And this is the main challenge of what we are speaking about on the eastern neighborhood. For Romania, in this part of Europe, there are some very important subjects. For us, for instance, it's important to continue the process of the enlargement of the European Union, first of all, especially in the Balkans, with the countries from the Balkans which are interested, which are making reforms, which are committed to the criteria for the accession to European Union, the candidate countries and the aspirant countries. And Romania is extremely supportive for continuing this process of the EU enlargement. It's the same with NATO. For us, NATO is not something against some others, but it's something for us guaranteeing our security. So those countries in the Balkans which are interested and they are candidates, we are extremely supportive for their future accession. In the eastern neighborhood, our interest is, first of all, to support those eastern partners that worked hard and signed recently agreements of political and economic association with the European Union. That means the Republic of Moldova, Ukraine, and Georgia. And a special word on the Republic of Moldova, because we have the young diplomat from Chisinau. History was complicated in this, also in our region. On both rivers of the same river, both sides of the same river, River Prut, which today is the border between Romania and the Republic of Moldova, are living brothers. To say it bluntly, we are living, we have the same mother tongue, Romanian, and for us, the Republic of Moldova, it's something special. So this is why Romania is the first supporter for a European integration of the Republic of Moldova and with close relations with us. Ukraine, Georgia, strong support for them, for the European path, and in the case of Georgia, for the Euro-Atlantic path also. That means accession to NATO, because Georgia wants to accede to NATO. Of course, the other members of the Eastern Partnership, that means Azerbaijan, Belarus, Armenia, we are in favor in enhancing good cooperation. It's true that there are specific interests, first of all, of those countries. Azerbaijan is in favor of a special strategic partnership based also on the economic and energy security realities. Armenia, that was at a certain moment in the process of signing the association agreement, abandoned for a moment at least this idea, but it's in favor to maintain a good dialogue with the European Union. With Belarus, I will say from the Romanian point of view, we are interested to relaunch with a positive spirit a good dialogue based on the rules, on the democratic standards. I met the Belarus minister a few months ago, and we intend also to develop the contacts in the near future. Of course, in our region, it's extremely important looking to the Black Sea region, which is a very strategic place, which is a place that today includes extremely important political interests, strategic interests, frozen conflicts. This is the case with Transnistria. This is the case to what is happening now in Ukraine, and also many other type of interests. For us, being a riparian state to the Black Sea, a Black Sea which makes the connection between two regions, the Caucasus on one side, the European Union market on the other side, it's extremely important to find ways of managing, first of all, the conflicts properly, correctly, through the political means, to enhance economic ties. We are discussing for a number of years the so-called New Silk Road that will make the connection between Asia, Central Asia, Caucasus, through the Black Sea, on the other side, on our European side. This is a very strategic project. This will imply a network, a freight transport corridor of goods and so on. That means economic benefits. That means cooperation. So this is why Central Asia, also for Romania, Caucasus are extremely important. And of course, Asia as a partner, we have some partners, some strategic partners and partnerships signed, but Romania is coming back, if you want. Before 1989, Romania was very present in Asia, in Africa, in Latin America. For a number of years, we concentrated more on our Euro-Atlantic goals. For us, now it's a rediscovering effort, if you want, for rediscovering the old friends, politically speaking, but also from an economic and cultural point of view. So I will not make all the picture, because we did it 1 month ago during our annual meeting with the Romanian ambassadors and general counsels, but I want to see Romania as a dynamic partner, interested in having, of course, friendly, good connections all around the world, and also being active, very often discreetly, more and more in the past years in the Middle East. We have a long tradition, before 1989 and after 1989, in having good contacts with all the actors in the region and having a positive contribution. Once again, very often discrete contribution. First of all, in the peace process in the Middle East between Palestine and the Israeli side, also the Arab states. And I think this moment it's a critical one. There is an effort of the United States, an effort of the European Union, that in the end we hope that we'll put in the positions to have a direct negotiations between the directly concerned parties to ensure a peaceful solution, a political solution, once again, a political solution that will offer the two-state solution living peacefully side by side. This is the only solution, and this will give predictability, and in the end will generate a fundamental echo within all the enlarged Middle East. And we know that this is a big challenge, but just to inform you that all those years, also in the past 2 years, 2 years and a half, since I am chairing the Foreign Affairs, Romania Foreign Affairs Ministry, I was very often in the region, meeting the high-ranking officials there and trying to support the peace process. And Romania is welcomed, I'm saying this with modesty, is welcoming on both sides every time, and we are trying to help. I don't want to replace the lectures that will follow in the next days. I just want to encourage you to be involved in these discussions also, and I'm glad that we succeeded to offer a balanced program for you to discover also some beautiful parts of this country, some beautiful places. You will go to Bran, to the famous Bran Castle, where we have the myth of Dracula. It's not so scary, please believe me, but it was part of my former constituency. I was a member of the Chamber of Deputies, and after that of the Senate of Brașov. Now I'm Senator of Bucharest, but I want to encourage you to discover a beautiful place, a beautiful area here in Brașov. You will visit also Sighișoara. Yes, you will see an old, beautiful medieval city in Sighișoara, and I'm sure that you will enjoy this place. So I want to wish you to enjoy this stay in Romania, especially for those who came from a longer distance. Our neighbors, Europeans from the Balkans, Central European or the Baltic states and the others are much closer. It's much easier for them. But for the others that you came from a long distance, take the benefit, and I'm sure, or I hope, that you will be back either in a official mission a little bit later in Romania, or in any case as a friend of this country. And make friendships, make connections between you. You don't have the right idea how useful it will be 5, 6, 7, 8 years after that. We had and we have the experience of some other generations of young diplomats coming from different other countries. They established direct connections. And please believe me, I was also a young diplomat. 20 years ago I entered the Foreign Ministry of Romania. We passed the contest, which was, by the way, a very difficult context also at that time. And it was extremely useful. Now I'm rediscovering my former old colleagues from the mission in Strasbourg or on some other missions, being ministers, deputy ministers. So I wish you, everybody, to become a foreign minister in your country. Yes. Thank you very much, and I'm at your disposal for any questions, comments, and I'll do my best to give the answers. Okay, thank you.